A rite of passage in our culture for kind of moviegoers is that experience when you take your kid to their first Disney film. Do you remember the first Disney film that someone took you to? Do you remember that? I sure remember mine. It was Bambi, right? And I'm still traumatized. Absolutely traumatized. It comes up in therapy a lot, right? You know, you're like, Dad, what happened to Bambi's mom, right? I remember the first Disney film I took Casey to, my oldest son. I took him to see The Princess and the Frog, right? The Princess and the Frog. This is a historic film in the Disney pantheon. The Princess and the Frog features Tiana, the first African-American princess. But alas, 15 minutes into the film, this guy showed up. And Casey was done. He was out of there. Movie tickets, $30. Large popcorn, $18.50. 2 drinks, $17. Walking out of the crowded theater, carrying your screaming toddler. Priceless, right? Thank you, Disney, for helping make family memories so memorable. But for many of this generation, it's this film, the current film that we're talking about today, Frozen. I mean, look at the young people who are here today, decked out in their costumes. I wish you could have seen little Lucas run across the front of this chancel here this morning in his little Olaf suit when he saw me as Kristoff. I'm like, it's Pastor Jeff. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Kristoff. You might not have known it, but he did, right? You know, I mean, this film has captured the imagination. The first Frozen film debuted in 2013, and it grossed $1.2 billion at the box office. At the time, making it the #1 animated feature film of all time. It's only been its third now, been surpassed by Disney's live-action animated Lion King this summer, and now outpaced by Frozen 2, which at the rate it's going will become the #1 animated feature of all time. So what is it about Frozen? What is it about Frozen that so captures this generation? Lots of things for sure. Some of it's just the fantastic music, right? Which one of us hasn't found ourselves in the shower on a Monday morning going, let it go, I can't hold it back anymore? Just me, huh? Just me. I mean, Frozen has one of the best sidekicks of all time in Olaf. George, that's why they just crack up every time you stand up here today, right? But one of the things that is sure to really hit at the heart of this film are the heroes. Elsa and Anna. They're sisters. And they live together in the magical Scandinavian-esque kingdom of Arendelle. Elsa possesses magical power with which she can create and control ice. Right? I wish you could have been at the theater this last week when little Aria Altman came in all decked out in her Elsa outfit. Here she is, right? In all of her Elsa glory, walked up to her pastoring it, "You're frozen. And now you're unfrozen. And now you're frozen again." She did that for 7 minutes, man, right? It's like the best 7 minutes of my life so far. But these sisters, Elsa, the ice queen, the one with the magic powers, and Anna, is it Anna or Anna? Anna, thank you. I see. Wow, I felt that, people. I felt that fully. I think that came right back there from the Orletsky crew, right there, right? Yes, Jenny's like, "Don't mess with my movie, preacher," right? Anna, the ever-dutiful, utterly determined, headstrong younger sister. She may not possess any superpower, but she is the reminder that ordinary people are the ones always called to do the most extraordinary things. So what is it about these sisters, these Disney princesses that have captivated us so much? You know, the Disney princess has been with us a long time. 83 years to be exact. Do you remember who the first Disney princess was? Snow White. Yep, there she is. Snow White, the very first of the Disney princesses. Since then, there's been 11 before Elsa and Anna. Let's see if you remember them. Cinderella, very good. You're passing the quiz so far. Oop, 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 oop. That was cheating. That was Anne being like, I'm going to show you, I'll give you the quiz here. Who's this one? Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. Some of you are Disney princess folk. Larry's like, I have no clue what we're doing right now. There is a football game this afternoon, Pastor, don't forget, right? We got Ariel from The Little Mermaid, followed by Belle from Sleeping Beauty. Anybody know who's next? Pocahontas, no, Jasmine. Jasmine from Aladdin. Then Pocahontas, Mulan, Tiana, Rapunzel, and Merida. Merida from the movie Brave. Then we get the sisters that we're here to talk about today, Elsa and Anna. Anna. I have a feeling I know how this is going to go all day. I am way in. Can we just talk about the football? You know there's a football game today? I don't know if you heard. I am way in over my head here. I learned what an empire waist was, though. It's a whole new thing. So, back. Help a brother out here, would you? Then we get the sisters, Elsa and Anna, the 12th and 13th of the Disney princesses, and they really redefine what the whole Disney princess experience is all about. Much has been made of the fact that after 83 years and 11 different iterations of the Disney princess, this film is the first time that the Disney princess has appeared on screen wearing pants. Yay! But more importantly than fashion, it is the quest that these princesses find them in that defines these films and these characters for a new generation. The Disney princesses before them were always in search of their happiness, always in search of their fulfillment beyond themselves. Most often looking for it out there, most often believing that their happiness and their fulfillment was found in the love of their prince. We hear that in the songs, these iconic songs that have accompanied these films now for 83 years. We got Snow White, the very first princess, and what was her song? Someday my prince will come. Someday we'll meet again. Help me out. And away to his castle we'll go. To be happy forever, I know. And then there was the Little Mermaid, Ariel, afraid that the way she was born wasn't right. She longed to be something other than who she was originally created to be, and she thought her happiness wasn't in her own self, but in a world that she felt she had no access to, and only by becoming somebody different would she ever find her happiness. You remember, I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them? Feet. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Wish I could be wandering free. Wish I could be, help me out, part of that world. This is getting rough as we go. rougher by the minute. And of course, Erica, come and help me here. Come and help me. Give Erica a little microphone action here. Red mic. Ready, you know. And then there was the great Peebo and Celine Dion moment, right? You know, it was, how does it start again? Oh, like rising, till as old as time, song as true as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast. Right? We'll practice that better for next time. But then you got the song that we just heard, right? Think about the difference of the song that Amanda and Samantha put out for us today from those songs that long for something beyond ourselves to find ourselves. We got these two strong, young women standing here embodying the anthem of a new Disney princess saying to us, show yourself. Yourself. I'm dying to meet you. Show yourself. It's your turn. Are you the one that you've been looking for your whole life? Show yourself. Are you ready to learn? The journey of these two Disney princesses remind us that the real life journey is in here, not out there. That our happiness, our fulfillment, our joy are never found out there, never found in the validation or the affirmation of somebody or something else, but rather it is in knowing ourselves and showing ourselves to the world around us. And that's what Elsa and Anna do in this whole film. And they do that by following the sage advice of the movie's wisest little prophet, Olaf. Olaf tells them, the water remembers. The water remembers. And if you're a preacher, pastor type like I am, and you go to these films that you're looking for something to say, you sit in there and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and sometimes you wait for a line to come through where you're like, that's the sermon. And it was my kid again. Said, Dad, that's the sermon, you know. You're right, Casey. That's the sermon. The water remembers. Olaf recites some fact that the water that we drink passes through at least 4 or 5 different humans or animals, and that somehow through it the water remains its memory. A little research shows that that's maybe not great science, but I'm here today to tell you it is really great theology. And in the film, it is the water. It's the great river, the Ahtohallan, that these princesses are reminded of who they are and whose they are. By following the river, they remember their story. They're reminded that their parents are coming from different cultures. These sisters are bicultural and biracial, and they hold the best possibilities of both within them. The waters remind them that their parents gave their lives on a quest to understand their daughters better. They died as an act of sacrificial love. And it's in the waters that these sisters have to come face to face with their complicated and sometimes unjust history of who they've been as a people. Learning about their grandfather and how he tricked and betrayed the people of Northumbria, and that the dam didn't necessarily represent a peace treaty, but was a form of separation. It's there in the water that Elsa and Anna are reminded that they are the bridge. They are the bridge to help put together these complicated and broken pieces of their past. And all they have to do is show themselves, know themselves, trust themselves, to be themselves. Just like it was in the waters of the Atahalan River that Elsa and Anna remember who they are and whose they are, it was the same in the waters of the River Jordan that Jesus remembers the same. It's in the waters of baptism that Jesus is invited to show himself to the world. It's right there in the beginning of Mark's gospel. It's one of my favorite scriptures of all time, and I love it because before Jesus does anything, before he feeds anybody, before he heals anybody, before he teaches anything to anybody, before he dies on the cross for everybody, before he rises from the dead in the hopes that anybody and everybody might one day do the same, before any of that, it's in the waters of baptism that Jesus remembers, Jesus, you are God's beloved. You are God's child. You are God's son, within whom you are well pleased. Jesus, show yourself. That's all I'm asking of you. Show yourself to the world in all your fullness, in all your humanness. And think about it. From that moment on, we get 16 more chapters of Jesus doing that. Simply showing up, being the person he believed God had always called him to be. And through him, salvation and healing and forgiveness and transformation has come to the world. You are my beloved. In you I am well pleased. That is all God wants to say. That is God's singular agenda item. In the waters of baptism, we are reminded the same. We are reminded that our worth and our purpose and our fulfillment in life comes from what God has already put in you. Already put in you. Not from what you are seeking validation from around you. And I don't know about you, but I needed to be reminded of that today. I haven't had hair in a long time. I need to be reminded of that every day. Because too often I find myself searching for that validation beyond what God has already made true about me. I worry, am I who God said I am? And so I look for it in the places that will never fully deliver it. Never go to a conference with a bunch of pastors, because all we do is compare numbers. How many you got in yours? How many you got in yours? Is yours bigger? You know what I mean. I'm off script. Really, though, we seek our validation in something else. How many socks did you collect? How much money have you given away? Do you have the approval of your peers or your colleagues? Where do you struggle to believe that you are exactly who God wants you to be? Right now, in this place and at this moment, then come to the waters of baptism today. Because these waters remember. They remember. They remember that God looks at you and is ecstatic. God has never had a second thought about you. We have holiness within us, but it's frozen. How's that for being on theme? It's frozen. And the waters of baptism thaw that ice and show us that there is holiness within us. The waters of baptism do more than just wash away sin. The waters of baptism surround us. They envelop us. They accept us. They refresh us. And they remind us that our worth and our value and our fulfillment has already been given to us by the Creator of the world. You, and you, and you, and you. You are God's kids, God's children. You are an unrepeatable miracle. And all that is asked of you is to just show up. Show up. That's all you need to do. Show up as you, in the fullness of you. Nothing less, nothing more. That's what makes Disney princesses these days. And that's what makes God's messengers every day. It's already within you. All you have to do is show up and show yourself. The water really does remember. And so today, if you feel like you need to be reminded, several of our ministers will be up here with a little bowl of water. And just like the sisters found it in the river Alta Holland and Jesus found it in the river Jordan, you're going to be reminded of it in good old Royal Oak tap water. Because this water remembers too. Because it's God's water, and it claims you, and it tells you who you are and whose you are. So I invite my ministers to come forward at this time and find one of these bowls and join me here. And if you feel led, there's no pressure, but if you want, come forward today while the singing of the song and allow one of us to just put that sign of the watery cross upon you again so that you can be reminded to show yourself to the world. Come as you feel welcome or led to this moment of being reminded.